Good morning. I'm back. What a day yesterday, but I'm feeling much better today. It is a shame that a whole day was wasted over a power outage for absolutely no reason at all, except a tree fell somewhere and ruined my day. But that's okay. We're okay. Today's a new day. I might do a show on this at a later date, but let's get right to today's story, which made my mouth drop. Still flushing out the flies. So this was on the Today Show a few days ago. It's about marijuana mommies. Yeah, yeah, mommies that go to play dates with their children, and instead of sitting around the table at a pool party or the kids are romping in the yard, and instead of maybe having a spritzer or a wine cooler, they smoke pot. Yes, marijuana. Now, this is in California, and it is legal, by the way. They are doing nothing illegal by getting high 20 feet from where their children are playing, sucking on a bong, smoking a joint. But is it proper? Is it appropriate? And this is the thing. And they have gotten some stigma for it. In fact, it encouraged one woman to start a web page called Cannabis Moms. And it's a real page. You can go look at it if you would choose to do so. And basically, many of these women actually use the marijuana, which I think scares me a little bit more. They use it for chronic pain and depression. Makes them happy. And these are mothers, and these children were small. They were small children romping in a swimming pool, playing around, and at a picnic table, very close to them, mommies were getting high. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but I really want to know. I can't wait to see the debate on this. And look, I know a lot of you, my viewers and my friends, you do smoke marijuana. And some of you do it legally because it's legal where you live, and some of you have prescriptions for it, and that's fine. This is not a forum on legalizing marijuana. I think marijuana should be legal, to be honest with you, because I have smoked marijuana, so I can come to you knowing what I'm talking about with my own experiences with marijuana. Now, everybody's experience may be different. But what these moms said seemed to me to be very opposite my experience with marijuana. Okay? First of all, they attest that marijuana gives them energy, makes them able to clean the house. It showed one mom making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for her child while high. And I don't get that reaction when I smoke marijuana. I don't like marijuana, so I will disclose that. I'm not a fan. I don't enjoy it the way some people do. It usually makes me sick to the point where I have vomiting and diarrhea afterward, but it doesn't give you a hangover. And I do think it should be legal, but I do think it needs to be regulated just like alcohol is. And I don't think it's a great idea for mommies to be getting high around their children or around other people's children. In fact, one of the mothers was aghast because one of her friends, her daughter's friends, found out that she uses marijuana and now refuses to let her child, the friend refuses to let her child play with the marijuana mommy's child, come to their house. And I don't blame that parent. If I had children, I would also not allow them to go into a home where I knew the parents got high in front of my child. And I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I wouldn't like it. And let me say this. The times that I have smoked marijuana, these women say, oh, I can clean my house. I can get through the day. It gets me through the day. Well, the times that I've smoked marijuana, I can barely walk up the steps to get to my bed, let alone clean my house or make a peanut butter sandwich for a child. Seriously. That's how it affects me. Maybe other people are different. Maybe you will tell me, oh my God, it gives me so much energy. Now, if these mothers said they were freebasing cocaine, I would get the energy boost thing. But the only thing I want to do when I smoke marijuana is laugh, talk funny, and sit on a sofa and eat Cheetos. Cleaning my house is the last thing on my mind. And if a child were drowning in front of me in a swimming pool and I was high on marijuana, I don't think I would be jumping into the pool because I would be falling down getting to the pool. That's just me. Don't know. Look, I am the kind of person that, Paula Luciano loves her wine, loves my alcohol. But again, I would not let my child hang out in a home where I knew the person, the adult, was drinking all day. Because again, your reaction time. What if there's an emergency? What if, God forbid, the person using the alcohol or the marijuana passes out and the children are left to their own devices and not being properly supervised? And there's another issue, and this is for all my legal cigarette smoking friends out there. And I'd love to talk to the cannabis mom, and I'm going to hashtag her on this video. I wonder how many of these mommies, because people who use certain drugs kind of get snobby about other things. I wonder at their little mommy and me parties where they're sucking on a bong, what they would do if I lit one of these in front of their little angels, 20 feet away from their little angels. This is a legal Virginia Slims menthol cigarette. It does not hamper my responses. It does not make me fuzzy in my brain. It's just a cigarette, and it's legal. And yet, many mommies and daddies will not want me to light this cigarette within 500-mile radius of their precious little angels. I can't light one of these on most beaches on the Atlantic coast. I can't light one of these in some public parks. I can't light one of these in Times Square in New York City. So, here's my thing. This cigarette is not going to make me unable to save a child's life if they're choking or drowning. It will not hamper my response time. It's not going to make me pass out on the sofa with a bunch of Cheetos stuffed in my mouth. Marijuana might. Alcohol might. I would much rather my child spend a day in the home of parents who smoke these than parents who are sucking on a bong in front of my child. And let's look at the reasons why these are banned from places where children congregate. We don't want the children to see people smoking these and think it's cool. And the secondhand smoke on a beach, it might blow down the beach and get into my child's lungs and they're going to get lung cancer and die. Right. I'll tell you what secondhand smoke will get them high is secondhand marijuana smoke. And again, personal experience. I have been in a room where someone was smoking pot and I was not. But I started getting a little buzzed. And it was because I was breathing in their smoke. Did any of you who smoke pot ever do the thing where you take a puff and you hold the smoke and then you kiss your girlfriend or your boyfriend and blow it in and you both get high? Point. I think it's a good point. One of these moms, these cannabis moms, said she actually grows marijuana in her backyard where her child romps and plays. We all know what hash brownies are, right? What if the children like to put things in their mouths. What if that child picks a leaf and puts it in his mouth? I certainly would not want my child playing at the home of another child whose parents grow marijuana in the backyard. Again, it's legal, but I wouldn't like it. Because again, and I've done this show, if my teenage child decides to start smoking, or my adult child decides to start smoking when they're 18 or older, I'm not going to freak out so much about it. But I don't want my young child to be watching people get high. See, these are not going to make you pass out. You can drive a car after you smoke this. Not so much after you suck on a bong all afternoon. To give these women credit, they do say that they always have designated drivers after their mommy and me marijuana parties. That's nice for them. And yet, just like people who drink say, I always have a designated driver, you know, there's always that one time when either the designated driver doesn't show up or the designated driver has a little bit too, and there goes your designated driver. Now, I'm not calling these people a liar. I don't know enough about them. But I will say that human nature says that if these people use marijuana every single day, which they say they do, at some point they have driven a car with children inside it under the influence of the marijuana. And I find that very inappropriate. I would much rather a carpool mommy pick up my child from school and smoke one of these than be driving my child around after she had smoked a joint or sucked on her bong for a few hours or had a couple glasses of wine. Again, my personal First Amendment protected opinion. This is not a forum against marijuana. It is a forum against or about the appropriate use of marijuana. I do believe it should be legal. I don't think marijuana is really any different than alcohol. But like alcohol, I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to go hang out in the afternoon at a pool party with your little kids and smoke pot. Just like I don't think it's a great idea to be drinking, margaritas all day and then drive your kids home from a pool party, or even be drinking while your kids are in the pool. What if there's an emergency? What if one of the children starts to drown? Who's going to save them? And who would you want to save your child in an emergency? Someone who had half a pack of cigarettes today? Or someone who's been sucking on a bong? Or smoked 3 joints today? Or had 4 glasses of wine? Or 2 gin and tonics? Who would you rather have looking after your child? I choose this. I choose Virginia Slim's mommy over marijuana mommy any day of the week. Constitutionally protected opinion. So I'm anxious to hear your opinion on this, really. I want to have a debate. I know some of you are going to come and tell me that marijuana is great, that when you smoke it, it doesn't affect you. And I will say this I have a ready-made answer for that. There are people who drink and they are drunk and they say, oh, I'm fine. I can drive a car. Till they can't. Till they kill somebody. Till they get pulled over, and when they blow into that little tube, they realize just how drunk they were and they didn't realize it. You may think you're not being affected by your marijuana, just as a lot of people don't think that they're drunk when they actually are drunk. I have told myself many times when I don't feel drunk and I'm thinking about going out on my jet ski, or I'm thinking about driving the golf cart down here, and then I do say to myself, well, I don't feel drunk, but would I blow drunk if I had a breathalyzer in front of me right now? And if the answer to that question is yes, I say, you know what? I'll live to ride or drive another day. I'm not going to do it today. And I think that's a smart conversation to have with yourself. And like I said, my own experience with marijuana has been that I can't function when I'm smoking pot. Even just one toot off a joint or off a bong, and I feel the effects of it immediately. I certainly would never take responsibility for any child, let alone my own, especially my own beloved child, or anybody else's, while smoking marijuana, just as I would never babysit somebody's child and drink wine. I had my little cousin spend a night with me a few years back, and I did not drink that day. Now, my husband was there. He wasn't drinking. I could have had some wine, but I didn't want to because I wanted to make sure, number one, that my little cousin didn't see me drinking all day like I do now. I also wanted to be in the moment with her. I didn't want to be buzzed or drunk. I wanted to enjoy the time we spent together. And I did. It was a wonderful night. Again, that's me. That's me. Every parent makes their own decisions. But I do think that marijuana mommies or cannabis moms and mommy and me pot parties is not a great idea. That's me. I can't wait to hear your comments on and debate on this. This is my show. Like I said, I was very, very sick yesterday. I think I had my first migraine. So it's a short show today because I actually want to hear what you have to say. I want to have a good debate on this and hear your comments. So have a great weekend. I actually have some awesome plans for this weekend. I hope the weather cooperates. Mother Nature, excuse me, Mother Nature is always the boss here. So we'll see. It looks good so far. So fingers and toes crossed. And I'll be sharing pictures with you from the weekend if the plans pan out. Love shows and grows. Thank you again for your patience about yesterday. I do apologize. And I'll be working on shows for next week over the weekend as well. And we will see you back here on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Of course, I'll be checking in on Facebook all weekend to see your comments, especially about this one. I think we're going to get some good debate on this. And again, love shows and grows. Don't forget to be kind to one another. It's important to treat others the way you want to be treated. For now, Political Paula is out.